So it's been a week since the track day at Brighton Park, which has given me some time to reflect on the day and have a think about what was good, what was bad. Personally, I felt my driving was the best I've driven, to be honest with you, out on track. I was using good lines, good braking points, good throttle modulation. I felt like I drove well. I could have been a little bit more consistent, but I suppose that'll come in time. So yeah, overall I was happy with my driving. The car, as I mentioned in my previous video, I fitted a anti-roll bar from DNA Racing. It's made the car feel miles better. Really has brought the car together. The rear feels connected to the front. Turn in and mid corner felt really good. I mean, really good. It proper feels how a hot hatchback should feel when you're turning it in and chucking it round corners. However, there is a fundamental flaw with an Alfa MiTo as a track car. And it's, to be honest with you, it's really pissing me off at the moment, because it's sort of changed the direction that I might want to go with the car. But more on that in a bit. The car comes with Alfa Romeo's DNA system, so you've got 3 different types of driving modes you can select. You've got all weather for snowy, icy, rainy conditions, normal for just normal round town driving, motorway driving. Then you've got dynamic mode, which is what I always tend to use on track, which is for like a countryside B-road blast. They all change the characteristics of the car, of the electronic aids that allow you to do what you need to do with the car. So changes your steering, weight. In dynamic mode you get something called force feedback, which is like on your PlayStation if you are on Gran Turismo, and you get feedback through your steering wheel. It's like that. Throttle map in dynamic mode, it really sharpens it up. You also get an electronic diff. Acts like a limited slip differential, where it brakes your corners if it senses it's losing traction, which is actually quite effective. That it really works. But I can't switch off traction control and the electronic stability program on the car, which as a track car is a bit embarrassing, really. Yeah, it's not very good at all. So yeah, that leads me on, and I had an inkling that it was going to be like this. Now I fitted the rear anti-roll bar. The rear of the car is inherently more unstable, so you're getting it to play about and move about, which is then initiating the traction control and the electronic stability program, because it's sensing that you're sliding the back end round, and all that wants to do is straighten you up and keep you safe, because it's designed for the road. I'm sure it got Alfa Romeo's NCAP safety rating up when they were testing it, but on track it's not very helpful at all. Turning and mid-corner with that anti-roll bar is very good, but because the rear is now sliding, it's bringing the traction control on and the electronic stability program on, and I cannot get drive out of the corner. There's a significant and noticeable delay from me putting my foot on the accelerator pedal to power out of a corner and the car actually giving me power. And Jackie Stewart once said that the exit of the corner is far more important than the entry. So I'm in a bit of a cul-de-sac. I can't switch it off. The car's feeling how I want it to feel, but I can't get power out. So yeah, it's a bit frustrating, really. The only solution that I can think of to get rid of the electronic aids is to pull fuse F24, I think it is F20, which is the fuse for the ABS system. Pull that out and it brings up a multitude of errors on the dashboard. You lose the ability to put the car into dynamic mode, so you lose your throttle map, you lose your steering weight, it becomes really, really slack. And you also lose your EDIF. Which is a big loss. So, I don't know what to do. I think, because I'm at Donington Park on Wednesday, I think I'm going to pull the fuse and see how I get on. No ABS, no ESP, no traction control, no EDIF. I'm just going to see how the car feels and see if it handles and it still goes the way that I want it to. There could be other things I lose by doing this because I can't put it in dynamic mode. I'm not sure if the map that I've got on it, on the engine map, is usable in dynamic or all weather modes, if it's across all three or if it's just in dynamic. I don't know if you lose the overboost function on the turbo. So, well, I have just ordered a new battery for my laptop and I could go out and data log that, which I may do on another video. See what boost pressures we're running in the 3 different modes. So yeah, I don't know what to do going forward. I'm guessing I'm going to do a couple of track days with all the electrical systems off, see how big a loss not having the diff is, and see what happens. It might be something I do in the future, putting such as a Quaife LSD in. I know Race Chip do like a tuning box for your throttle map, which allows you to set how aggressive your throttle map is. So yeah, it might be a case of spending significant more money, which is a bit frustrating really, when all I want to do is switch traction control off and the electronic stability program. So yeah, I think do Donington Park, and then I've got the Nürburgring in September, and maybe do another Blyton day, possibly October time, or somewhere between the Nürburgring in September and Christmas time, and make a decision. Do I need to spend money on it? Do I want to spend money on a diff and a tuning box? Because you're talking, well, for the diff, I think they're about £700. The tuning box is about £200. So you're talking 900 quid there, and you've still got to fit it. You've got to remove the gearbox to change the diff. And obviously that's a lot of work. Or a significant amount of work, should I say. I'll have to assess it once I've been on track and got some time under my belt. I may just end up getting rid of the car. To be honest with you, if I knew what I know now before I bought it about not being able to switch the traction control off and the electronic stability program, I probably wouldn't have bought this car. Which is a bit of a shame to say, really. Probably why you should do your research before you end up buying a car. Probably why nobody runs them on track. So yeah, I'm a bit of a hole really. Like I say, I'm at Donington Park on Wednesday, so I'm sure there'll be a video about that. See how the car handles. Hopefully it'll be a dry day, because I don't really like driving in the wet on these tyres. And yeah, I'll probably come back to you in another video on how the car felt without the electronic aids, without the diff. See what happens. So yeah, anyway, take care guys.